In Charles Dickens's Great Expectations, Estella is one of the most enigmatic and compelling characters. Beautiful, proud, and emotionally distant, she captivates both the protagonist Pip and readers alike. Far from being a mere love interest, Estella plays a complex role in the narrative. She functions as a character with her arc, serving as a symbol of societal expectations and a lens through which Dickens critiques Victorian values surrounding class, gender, and identity. Role in the narrative. Estella is introduced early in the novel when Pip visits Miss Havisham's decaying mansion, Satis House. Pip, a poor boy with little experience of the upper class, is immediately enchanted by Estella's beauty and grace, despite her arrogance and disdain toward him. She becomes the embodiment of his desires: social advancement, refinement, and romantic love. Her presence ignites his yearning to rise above his humble origins and become a gentleman. Estella's role in the plot is deeply intertwined with Pip's journey. As the object of his affection, she drives his decisions and personal development. Pip believes that his mysterious benefactor, later revealed to be the convict Magwitch, is preparing him to marry Estella, and this assumption significantly shapes his ambitions. However, this illusion is cruelly shattered when he learns the truth, leading him to confront the false values he has adopted. Throughout the novel, Estella's coldness and emotional detachment are explained by her upbringing. Miss Havisham, who was abandoned on her wedding day, adopts Estella and raises her to wreak revenge on men. From childhood, Estella is taught to suppress emotion, to lure and break hearts. In this way, she becomes a living tool of Miss Havisham's bitterness. Her cruelty is not innate, but rather a product of emotional manipulation and trauma. Ultimately, Estella's life takes a tragic turn. She marries Bentley Drummle, a brutish man, and suffers through an abusive relationship. When Pip meets her again years later, she is softened and more reflective. This final encounter offers a sense of emotional growth and suggests that Estella, like Pip, has learned from suffering. Depending on the version of the ending Dickens wrote to, the tone varies from reconciliatory to ambiguous. Still, in all versions, Estella's development mirrors the novel's broader themes of redemption and moral awakening. Symbolic significance. Estella serves multiple symbolic roles in Great Expectations. First and foremost, she represents the dangers of idealization. For most of the novel, Pip views her not as a real person, but as an ideal of beauty, sophistication, and social prestige. His love for Estella is less about who she is than what she represents, his vision of a better life. By the time Pip recognizes her humanity and pain, he has undergone profound personal change, and his love for her becomes more mature and compassionate. Secondly, Estella is a symbol of the upper class and its flaws. Although born the daughter of criminals, Magwitch and Molly, she is raised to be a lady. Her refinement, education, and status are artificial, highlighting the novel's criticism of class divisions. Dickens uses Estella to expose how social class can be a mask, something learned and performed, rather than inherently valuable. Despite her elegance, Estella is emotionally damaged and morally confused, suggesting that gentility does not guarantee virtue or happiness. Moreover, Estella symbolizes emotional repression and the costs of manipulation. Her inability to love, her calm demeanor, and her controlled expressions all point to a more profound trauma. Miss Havisham's twisted experiment, in which she uses Estella as an instrument of vengeance, ultimately turns her into a victim. Estella is both a product of and a warning against the suppression of natural affection in favor of pride and control. Dickens seems to suggest that denying emotional truth has damaging consequences not only for individuals but for the society that fosters such behavior. Broader implications. Estella's character illuminates several broader themes in Great Expectations. Estella's relationships, especially with Pip and Miss Havisham, reflect the novel's exploration of love as a source of pain, misunderstanding, and transformation. Pip's unrequited love for Estella is one of his greatest trials, teaching him humility and self-awareness. Estella's loveless upbringing and tragic marriage reveal the consequences of emotional neglect and the human need for genuine affection. Estella is a prime example in Dickens's inquiry into whether character is shaped more by birth or environment. Though she is the child of a convict and a murderess, she is raised among the wealthy and cultured. Despite her refined manners, she lacks emotional warmth, indicating that nurture, particularly Miss Havisham's toxic influence, plays a significant role. This supports Dickens's broader message. that morality and kindness do not stem from social class, but from inner values and human connection. Estella's role also underlines Dickens's critique of Victorian society, especially in terms of class mobility, gender roles, and artificiality. She is a woman stripped of agency by both her adoptive mother and the expectations of society. Her beauty, which should empower her, becomes a tool for others' schemes. Dickens critiques the way women were objectified and how social standing often determined one's worth, regardless of personal merit. Though Estella is emotionally distant for much of the novel, she is not static. Her final scenes suggest a shift in character, from proud and cold to humbled and empathetic. Her suffering, particularly in her marriage, teaches her the compassion she once lacked. In this way, Estella mirrors Pip's growth. Both characters undergo painful reckonings with their past illusions and emerge wiser, if not fully healed. This mutual transformation also contributes to the novel's theme of redemption. Estella is not condemned for her cruelty. Instead, she is portrayed as a tragic figure who was never allowed to form real human attachments. Dickens provides for the possibility of change, even for those who are most emotionally scarred. Estella's final openness with Pip and her regret for how she treated him offer hope and a kind of closure. Conclusion. Estella is one of the most intricately crafted characters in Great Expectations. Far more than a romantic interest, she is essential to the novel's narrative drive, emotional depth, and social critique. As a symbol of unattainable ideals, class illusions, and emotional repression, Estella reflects the central conflicts faced by Pip and by Victorian society itself. Through her, Dickens examines the nature of love, the construction of identity, and the dangers of living behind masks. Ultimately, Estella's evolution from a cold instrument of revenge to a woman capable of regret and reflection underscores the novel's central theme, that human goodness is not determined by birth or class, but by the capacity for growth and compassion.